Thanks for joining me today on Simple French Cooking. You know, you might be wondering what the heck I'm doing out in my garden. This year, I planted way too many zucchini plants. So I'm a little bit scared because I got zucchinis growing everywhere. So today I'm going to teach you a dish, and this is the first line of defense for using up all the zucchinis that you can. I'm going to make a zucchini blossom beignet. And so what we're going to do, we're going to cut the zucchini blossoms. We're going to take these guys, dip them in a tempura batter, and just fry them real quick. It's so simple, but so delicious. Join me today as I teach you how to make zucchini blossom beignet. The first thing we're going to need for our zucchini blossom beignets to make our tempura batter. Now, I prefer a tempura batter over like a standard beignet batter just because I find it to be lighter and more crispy, and the zucchini blossoms are very delicate. So to make this, we're going to take a pinch of baking soda and about a half teaspoon of salt. We're going to put that in a bowl. We're going to be using a 1/4 cup of potato starch, about 3/4 cup of rice flour. Now, if you don't have rice flour, you could use just regular flour. I've never tried this with a gluten-free brand, but you might want to try that as well. We're going to mix that in, and we're just going to mix all of this together. Now, once it's well mixed, we're going to take 1 large egg yolk. I'm just going to add this in. Make sure to get it all in there. And then we're going to add about 1 cup of sparkling water. Now, if you want, you could use beer, you could use champagne, you could use sparkling wine. Really anything that's effervescent will work here. Just bear in mind, if you use beer or even wine, it's going to give the dish a flavor. And so you might want to, factor that in as you're making your tempura batter. So like I said, we're going to add about 1 cup. Just want to mix this all up together. What we're trying to avoid is getting any lumps. Now I'm going to add just a couple more ingredients to give this a little bit more of a kick. I'm going to add a pinch of herbes de Provence, a pinch of salt, and then last but not least, a pinch of Espelette peppers. Perfectly fine to use a boxed tempura batter instead of making your own. The results are almost identical. You can always doctor up the store-bought one with the herbes de Provence and spices that you might want to add. At any rate, give your tempura batter a good stir right before you dip everything. You want to make sure your oil's at 350 degrees. And you have to be very careful when you're frying things not to burn yourself. So always use clean oil, use a pot that's a lot bigger than the amount of oil. I have 6 cups of oil, and I think this is a 8-quart Dutch oven that I'm using to fry in. At any rate, take your zucchini blossom, and you just want to dip it really well in the batter, make sure everything's covered. Then you're just going to let all the excess batter drip off. And then here's one of the tricks that I learned cooking. You just want to hold it in the oil for a few seconds and then let it go. And this is basically so the tempura cooks a little bit, so if it dips down to the bottom of your pot, it's not going to stick. Oh, these are looking great. Let's drop in another one. So we're going to dip it in. Make sure you coat it really well inside and out. Shake off the excess, just like that. Hold it in the oil for a few seconds. Drop it in. And you want to make sure you have something like a spider strainer to get this out. It's probably the best way. So you just want to get off as much of the oil and then drain it on paper towels. Let's do a few more while we're here. Ah, these are looking fantastic. Another trick is to keep a deep fat thermometer in your oil so you know where the temperature is. Because if you add too much food too quickly, you're going to drop the temperature of the oil. And the sweet spot's between 325 and 350. Oh, look how beautiful that is. That is just gorgeous. Now look at that. That is just so beautiful. And let's give this a bite. It's crunchy, and the rice flour just gives it kind of a beautiful, subtle, almost nutty kind of flavor. It's so good. So if you want a delicious taste of France, give the zucchini blossom beignet a try in your kitchen today.